Asti eka mahan guna. There is one great opportunity. Although it is full of faulty things, still there is one hope. That hope is Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Parang Brajet. If one simply chants the holy name of Krishna, Hare Krishna, then gradually he becomes purified from the contamination of this age. Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha. He becomes free from the contamination of this age. It is just like vaccine. In contagious disease there is vaccine, cholera. So this mantra, Maha Mantra, this is not ordinary sound. This is spiritual. By chanting this mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, one becomes free from the contamination of this age. Not only he becomes free from the contamination of this age, but Parang Braje, he goes back to the spiritual world. We have no information in this age, at the present time, what is that spiritual world. But they are all stated in the Bhagavad Gita. Parastasmatu bhavanya bhaktya sanatana. Everything is there in the Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of spiritual life, ABCD of spiritual life. The people cannot understand even the ABCD of Bhagavad Gita. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the graduate study. So everything is there. Unfortunately, it was not distributed. So our Krishna consciousness movement has started to distribute this literature, especially Srimad Bhagavatam. We have already translated about 20 books. They are present before you, and our aim is to present to the human society 60 books. The still translation is going on. So our request to the publishers and booksellers that let this literature be distributed properly, people will be benefited. Because after all, each and every human being is a spiritual being. He is not this body. That is the mistake of the present civilization. Just Atma Buddhi Kunapi Tridhatute. Atma Buddhi, self. People, everyone thinks that this body, I am this body. If I ask any gentleman what you are, he will say, I am Mr. Such and Such. I am born in this country. I am American, I am Englishman, I am Indian. These are all bodily descriptions. But basically I am not this body. This is called illusion. You have got practical experience. When one man's father or son or any relative dies, he cries, oh, my son has gone away, my father has gone away. Well, your father is lying there on the bed. How do you say that my father has gone away? That means the actual father he has never seen. He has seen the body only. And on this bodily conception of life, everything is being manipulated. This is called illusion. Therefore, in the Vedic literature it is stated, Jasatma buddhi kunapeti dhatuke sadhik kalatradisu bhoma yujyadhi jat tirtha buddhi salilena karhichit janeshu avigneshu saeva gopar. A person who is in the bodily concept of life and thinking his bodily designation as everything, nationalism or bhoma ijjati, bhoma on the land, ijjati. The whole world is going on, worshipping the land in which he is born. But he does not know that he took birth in many lands, not only in this land, in other planet also. But he does not know which land is his own land. This is called illusion. Jasyātu buddhi kunapetida sadhik kalatra dishu mayjiti. So, the world is going on under misconception of self, that I am this body. In the Bhagavad Gita you will find the first instruction given by Krishna, Dehinasmin yatha dehi kaumarang jauvanang jara tatha dehandra prapti dhirastattanamai. Asmin dehi, in this body, there is the proprietor of the body, Dehi, who possesses this body. But there is no information. Nobody knows. There is no education on this point. What is that proprietor of this body? They are simply going on like cats and dogs. Cats, and if you try to instruct a cat or dog, my dear dog, you are not this body, he will not understand. He is so grossly in ignorance, it is very difficult for him to understand that he is not this body. But human being, although at the present moment they are grossly ignorant for want of spiritual education, still, because he is human being, he can be educated. He can be revived to his original consciousness, which is called Krishna consciousness. So, we are trying our bit, almost single-handed, although the important literatures are there, Vedic literatures, 4 Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, 18 Puranas, 108 Upanishads, then Ramayana, Mahabharata, so many, full of knowledge, transcendental knowledge. They can be distributed all over the world. But there was no organized attempt. We are just began from 1966, this movement, Hare Krishna movement or Krishna consciousness movement, distributing this literature. Through literature, of course, we are very hopeful. Our literatures are selling. In London also, they sell at least $200 pounds in the street. Similarly, in New York, in Los Angeles, every city, we are selling about 30 to 40,000 rupees worth books daily, and people are appreciating. But if the publishers and the booksellers also help us in this movement, then people will be very much benefited. That is our request. We have come to this bookseller's office to request. Of course, we have no means to advertise very much, but our advertisement is the Sankirtan movement. We go from city to city, street to street, to invoke the spiritual consciousness of man. There is already there. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said, Nitya Siddha Krishna Bhakti Sadha Kavu Noy Savanadi Shuddha Chitte Koroe Udoy. It is simply awake. This spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, is already there in everybody. Otherwise, how these European, American, other foreign country boys and girls they are taking? It is already there. Simply it has to be awakened by this transcendental vibration. The transcendental vibration, just like we are chanting, this is one vibration. And these books are bigger vibration. This when we chant Hare Krishna mantra, a few words people can hear, here is Hare Krishna. But my Guru Maharaj used to say that this is Brihat Mridanga. Mridanga, that drum you have seen. That is small mridanga. If I beat on this drum, maybe a few words people can hear from few words. But this is, the books are distributed. It can go from country to country, from continent to continent. Actually it is so happening. So our only appeal is that all booksellers, all publishers may come forward and cooperate with us and distribute